Welcome back, everyone, to another week of Growing Together, where we grow together in our faith, our family, and our friends. It is our third week learning the rules of life, lessons that Jesus taught us how to live. But before we move on to our story today, let's do a quick recap. What have we learned the last 2 weeks? Week number 1, learning of Jesus' greatest commandment to love God and to love others. Week number 2, to remember that whatever we have in abundance, to share it with others. And this week is going to sound a little similar, but different. So let's jump to it. Our story today comes from Matthew 25, starting at verse 14. And Jesus tells this story so that we might understand a little better of what it's like to be in the kingdom of heaven. He tells the story of a man who's about to go on a journey, and he's going to leave for a little while. And so what he does is he leaves 3 of his workers with some of his money. It says here that the man gave one of his workers 5 bags of gold. Another worker, he gave 2 bags of gold. And the third worker, he only gave 1 bag of gold. But what's important here is what the workers did with the gold while their boss was on his journey. The first guy with the 5 bags of gold thought, I'm gonna put this money to work. And so he did. How do you put money to work? Get to work, you bags of gold. Keep making those sandwiches. Can bags of gold make sandwiches? I need some bags of gold. No, it's probably more likely that he just simply invested the money. Investment, the action or process of investing money for profit or material result. I don't know, put it in a bank or something? Nevertheless, he put his money to work and came back with 5 more bags of gold. He doubled it. And the guy with 2 bags of gold thought the same thing and doubled his as well. He got 2 more bags of gold. But the guy with 1 bag of gold had a different idea. Because the boss man finally came back and wanted to collect his money. And so he went and found the first worker that made 5 more bags of gold. And he said, "You have done well, good and faithful worker. You have been faithful with few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness." And then he found the guy they left 2 bags with and made 2 more. And he said pretty much the same thing. "You have done well, good and faithful worker. You have been faithful with a few things, and I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share in your master's happiness." But then we get to the last guy, and this is what happened. Then the man who had received 1 bag of gold came and said, "Master, I knew that you are a hard man. You harvest where you have not planted, and you gather crops where you have not scattered seed. So I was afraid, and I went out and hid your gold in the ground. And see, here is what belongs to you." You put gold in the ground? Is that how you make a money tree? And the boss man wasn't very happy. He had this to say, "You evil and lazy worker. So you knew that I harvest where I have not planted, and you knew that I gather crops where I have not scattered seed. Well, then you should have put the money in the bank. When I returned, I would have received back interest at least." Ooh, that guy sounds like he's in trouble. Was the worker really lazy? Maybe. But I think the point of the story is not really to focus on the worker who didn't make any more money, but instead the ones that did. They took what was given to them, they used it, and they made more. So does God just want us to make more money with our money? When talking about the kingdom of heaven, it's not money that God wants us to double, but instead the gifts that God has given me and every single one of you. Because the truth is, if you didn't already know, you are talented. We all have talents of some sort. And I think what Jesus is trying to share with us here is that whatever talents that we have, we don't need to hide them, but instead use them and make them grow. Make them grow so that we can use our talents to point to God. Jesus is saying that we all have talents. We all have skills that are so diverse that everyone has different kinds of skills. And the point is to use them, to not hide them, to not be ashamed of them, to not be embarrassed of them, but to use them for our greater community. That when you use your gifts in the community to help those around you, that you are showing the love of Christ. And that brings us to our bottom line today. Make the most of what you've been given. Because like I've said, we've all been given talents, and Jesus is just asking us to simply use them. That if we bury our talents and they never see the light of day, then what God has given us is never reflected into our community. That when we are too scared or shy to use our talents, we're actually holding back the love of Christ to those around us. And I don't think we do this on purpose. We just get nervous sometimes. A lot of us like to be humble, and we don't necessarily always want to be the center of attention. Seriously, Jimmy, you don't like to be the center of attention? Okay, maybe some of us do. But nevertheless, whatever you have been gifted with, God calls us to use it, to not hide it, to share it with those around us so that it may grow and be a reflection of Christ. So let's ask you the question today. What are your talents? Are you using them for God? And if not, why? I urge each and every one of you to let your talents be known, show them, and allow them to grow so that we can be a better community and continue to show the love of Christ and helping and loving those around us. I know you can do it. I believe in you. I can't wait to see whatever your talents are. But until then, make sure to hop onto our Facebook page, NLC Growing Together. That's our show for the week. I hope you have a fantastic week. Until next time, we love you very much, and you rock our socks.